Most travelers dream of finding new and unknown destinations somewhere far from the beaten tourist spots where the thrill is real discovery and exploration. I reward the visitor with new and unexpected experience, sights and sounds. On the third day in the afternoon, we arrived in Kisumu and our first stopover was at the Impala Sanctuary. The sanctuary lies on the shore of Lake Victoria. By the early 1980s, what could be seen was a pitifully small herd of impalas that roamed the town of Kisumu and neighboring areas. The sanctuary was created to provide a home for this herd of impalas and has developed into a holding point for captured animals. The sanctuary has been described as a one-stop shop for all visitor category to see 5 species of carnivores, that is, the lions, leopards, cheetah, spotted hyena and the Tsavo cat, 4 species of primates, herbivores like buffaloes, impalas and zebras, and over 115 species of birds. It was a spectacle for me because it was beyond my expectation. But one thing for sure though, you will find no roaming lions or charming vistas of motor vehicles giving way to tall giraffes or magnificent elephants. The land is sure Kenya's best-kept secret, if I'm allowed to say so. Nestled on the shores of Lake Victoria, within the grounds of the lush and protected ecosystem of the Kisumu Impala Sanctuary, is Impala Eco Lodge. The lodge remains reassuringly secluded from the muddling crowd, making it a perfect getaway. We spent the night in Kisumu and very early in the morning on the 4th day, we set off for Rusinga Island. Lake Victoria, Namlolwe in Luo, Nalubale in Luganda and Victoria Nyanza in Bantu is one of the African Great Lakes. The name Victoria was named after Queen Victoria by the explorer John Hannings Speke, who was the first European to discover it. He accomplished this in 1858 while on an expedition with Richard Francis Burton to locate the source of Nile River. With a surface area of 68,800 square kilometers, Lake Victoria is Africa's largest lake by area and is also the largest tropical lake in the world and the second largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area. Lake Victoria supports Africa's largest inland fishery. We enjoyed the 45 minutes boat ride to the island, and upon our arrival, I was astounded by the beauty of this part of the island. As if the serenity of the lake wasn't enough, we got off the boat and we entered into an atmosphere of sweet tranquility, with the calm waters gently lapping the shores. Rusinga Island Lodge, lush semi-tropical garden, abound with a myriad of vibrantly colored birds. I tell you, it is a place of peace, of quiet and beauty. It revitalizes the mind and reawakens the soul. After lunch, we rested for an hour or so and set off for the fishing island. This, I can boldly say that it was the climax of our journey, an incredible experience. Here, we got to see the fishermen prepare to go fishing in the evening. And it was a beehive of activities as they prepared their nets. Women and the children either washed in the lake or cleaned utensils. The fishermen fish for the whole night until dawn. You can imagine the hustle. Don't forget that they may be out there for the whole night but get nothing. But the most amazing thing about these people is that you will not see them sulking. Nearly everyone living on Rusinga Island plays part in the fish industry. Fish supply that entails the catching, drying, storing and selling of the fish. We were privileged to see them set off for the lake before we went back. Seeing the sunset is unbelievably amazing. You realize that the sky is the beautiful old parchment in which the sun and the moon keep their diary. This day seemed like it was a great night for the fishermen. It was a busy morning as everyone sought to sell their catch to waiting customers. But as it may seem, it is not always as good for all the fishermen on the same day. We went to Takawiri, where they practice trolley fishing. After placing their fish nets in the lake at night, they then pull them in the morning. The pulling is done on the shores, and I tell you, it is a tasking job, sometimes rewarding, other times disappointing.
Sisi vile sisi anaanza saa hii, sisi anaanza kutoka hapa saa 12. Mmoja anaweza kufuruta vile sisi anavuta hivi. Kirega mbili hii. Anavuta mara mbili. Mumaleza anaenda, lakini samaki yenyewe huwezi kujua ati wewe anaanza kupata. Saa hii sijaona anaona hiyo ametoka tu bure bila samaki. Sasa upate ukosi. Si ndio muda mwenye anamaliza hapo ni saa 1:35 au saa 1:40. Si ndio vile sisi anavuta hii, anaweza kumaliza hapo masaa 1 tu na dakika kama 30 au 45. Na go hapa kwa mwara. Saa nyingine wewe anaweza kupata 1 au 2. Saa nyingine wewe anapata tu. Wewe anapata tu bila wasiwasi. Sisi wewe anaweza kukosa, wewe anaweza kupata. Na wale wa mama hapo wakisimama hapo hiyo mama vile anasimama kwenye maji hapo anafinya ile si ndio kokoro hii anaitwa kokoro. Iko pande ya mawe na pande ya mpira. Sasa pande ya mawe lazima wa mama afinye na mguu ndani. Samaki atoki. Kama samaki iko ndani anakuwa tu ndani hapo. Kama samaki hakuna. Ndio anasema ukose upate. Saa nyingine wewe anaweza kupata samaki moja, saa nyingine wewe anaweza kupata 2 ambao anafanana na kilo 5 au kilo 6 au kilo 10 samaki moja.
It was a wonderful experience being in the fishing villages and getting to know what it takes to have the fish that we enjoy eating so much from the initial stages. We then enjoyed another long boat ride to the hotel, and then we went to Ruma National Park. Here, we did not see much, but we came across a herd of giraffes. From the heat of Ruma, we moved on to a relative cool of the beautiful Western Highlands in Rongo along Kisii Highway. And one thing that has put Kisii on the map, apart from bananas, is soapstones. It is home to the finest stone covers. The Kisii community are renowned for their artistic skills with the local soapstone. They have a long tradition of carving only decorative art and jewelry together with functional items such as plates and bowls. The stone is found in a series of large open quarries, and this was our next stop. This beautiful soapstone is found near the village of Kisii, the Tobacco Hills of Western Kenya. Kisii stone ranges in color from deep gold to rich reddish purple, pale pink to pale purple, and black to creamy white. Each piece has its own unique combination of color and patterns. Like in any other fields of work, there are challenges facing those in the industry, and one of the major one was lack of market.
Hakika kabisa tangu usalama usorota nchi yetu, watu wetu wengi ambao wanategemea hii mambo ya sekta ya soapstone, wengi wanarara njaa. Sababu hakuna mwenye ananunua chochote. Wamechonga mali iko kwa nyumba, lakini mali wanapeleka ama wale wananunua hata ingawa wanawanyanyasa, hawakuji kwa sababu pia hawana mahali wanauza. Kwa hivyo tungeomba mtutengenezee njia, mwambie watalii watembelee area yetu hii, wakitembea hapa watu wetu angalau wapate hata kitu ya kukula siku moja, sababu tegemeo letu ni mambo ya soapstone.
Tunaweza kusema hatuna faida sana. Wale wako na faida ni wale wauzaji, middleman. Lakini sisi wachongaji tunaumia. Kwa maana sisi ndio tunaenda kwa Kwale, tunatoa mawe, tunachonga, tunapeleka kwa soko hapa Tabaka tunauza, alafu tunarudi kesho yake. Ukituona wachongaji hatuna kitu. Hata nguo tunafaa saa zingine ni matambara. Huwezi kutukuta tunafaa vizuri. Hiyo ndio shida tuko naye kubwa sana. Tunaona kama serikali ingechukua njia nyingine. Sisi hatuna pesa, watupatie mikopo tuwe tukiendeleza kwa biashara nyingine. Hiyo ndio ingeweza kutusaidia. Lakini mkichagua kikundi siku 2-3 ule mnaweka mbele yake, amechichagua ameenda huko mbele na sahau nyinyi. Alafu mnapaki pale pale mko. Hiyo ndio shida tuko naye. Tulianza cooperative, hiyo cooperative ikafifia kidogo ikakufa. Hatuna cooperative. Sasa kazi yetu kubwa ni hii ya kuchonga. Faida ile tunayo ni pesa ya tumbo tu tunapata ya siku. Sio faida. Naweza kutengeneza 200. Nikitengeneza 200, ninunue unga, ninunue mboga, si imeisha. Sasa hata mtoto siwezi someza na hizi pesa.
It was a startling experience for me, and I would love to go back over and over again. One thing for sure is that wherever you go becomes a part of you somehow, and that travel brings power and love back into life. All I'm trying to say is that it is good to have an end to journey toward, but it is the journey that matters in the end.